So, of course, we had all of those rumors that Nintendo was going to give some sort of presentation before the end of July, and we basically knew that if that was true, it was probably going to be a partner direct or an Indie World, especially with Indie World, because it's been almost a year since Nintendo has done one, long overdue. Then it ended up being a partner direct, and it was like, oh, okay, I guess Indie World later then. How much later? How about a week? Just a week. It feels a little funny, Nintendo revealing something so soon, but they have. They waited until the dust settled on the partner direct to announce the Indie World. It's coming this week, this Thursday. Oh, because it's not a regular Nintendo Direct, does that mean that it can be at a different time of day? What time? 6 a.m. Oh. Always with the 6 a.m. Pacific time. I guess it could be worse. It could be 5:30 a.m., but it's 6. All right, I guess I'll be trying to get up and stream it again, probably. So yeah, they announced one, and it's interesting. This one is going to be 15 minutes, and I know Indie Worlds aren't usually super duper long, but it's surprising, though. It seems, because it's been so long since they've done one, I just wouldn't be surprised if they have a lot to announce, a lot to talk about, especially because Nintendo really does, they kind of curate these presentations. They don't just focus on the bigger name stuff. They do try to go out of their way and work with developers and find unique titles that they think we may be interested in seeing. And I really do like that about these Indie Worlds. I've never been completely disappointed by an Indie World, even if there's not a lot that appeals to me personally. I don't know. I just like seeing new games announced, and I feel like indie games are just kind of cool. So I don't know. I know there's like a lot of cynicism surrounding it, and like obviously like y'all have your opinions, but everyone has their opinions. I think they're all fun. I think at their absolute worst, they're still really fun, and I just like games. I think indie games are just cool. Oh yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to say about the timing, it's a little bit interesting seeing them put these so close together, because it was last year when they actually did 2-in-1. It was that was actually the last one that they did. It was last August. Yeah, really, really close to a year ago. For the first time, they did an Indie World showcase and a partner showcase at the same time, like within the same presentation, one after the other. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and it was 42 and a half minutes total. And it's really funny how Nintendo always seems to be experimenting with this stuff. You know, that itself was an experiment, having them both in one thing. And now they're, okay, let's separate them again, but let's still make them really close together. You know, it's almost like, are you kind of just gauging how the reception goes and how it affects like how much people talk about it for how long? Yeah, now doing one and then waiting for that to like completely finish and then doing the next one. But then of course you have to consider that like the announcements themselves within every presentation, that's always kind of going to drive things more than anything. So why experiment so much with all of this? I don't know. The Big N works in mysterious ways. But I am excited. Again, because it's been so long, it feels like there are probably a lot of things to announce because, you know, the Switch one is so old. And when they did that Switch 1 Direct earlier in the year, like that just still had like so many games. I wouldn't be surprised if like all of these games are going to be available for Switch 1. I don't know. Indie games generally have like smaller budgets, smaller to medium budgets, and they're not like super graphically crazy. So I don't see a lot of indie games that need to exclusively be on the Switch 2, except maybe in a case like that Campfire one because it uses game chat or something. I really don't know. So that's kind of interesting. I don't even know like how much of a focus there will be on Switch 2 at all, if any. They'll probably do the thing that they did in the Partner Direct, where at the beginning of the trailer, we'll show you if it's coming to Switch 1 or Switch 2. One thing that I would like to see, because this is the first Indie World that we have had since the launch of the Switch 2, I think it would be fun if they had a section dedicated to games, older indie games, that are getting more substantial upgrades for the Switch 2. I mean, you know, it could be full new additions if that's something that a developer wants to do, but at the same time, it could just be like patches, but like more meaty performance patches, you know, an attempt to drum up interest in the game again. I could see like a sizzle reel, you know, just like a sizzle reel specifically for, hey, here are like 13 Switch 1 indie games that are getting performance patches and are going to run a lot better on Switch 2. And then I have to mute the stream so I don't get a copyright thing for the music. And just a quick little list of cool indie games that are going to run better on Switch 2. I think that would be fun. I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen or how realistic that is, but some mention whatsoever of Switch 2 and indie games running on Switch 2, you know, would be cool. Switch 2 is a thing now, after all. As for the specific games themselves that may be announced, there's not like a whole lot of notable ones to mention. Of course, there's Silksong is the game that everybody wants to come up, but there's no chance. It is an Xbox thing now. I know it was a Nintendo thing, and there was an Xbox thing, and then it started to seem like a Nintendo thing again because of the whole cake thing and the timing of the Nintendo Direct and all that. So there was like a maybe, but then all the recent presentations came and went, and it was nothing. And then it kind of reconfirmed as an Xbox thing. You know, it is confirmed. It is going to be playable at Gamescom, and it's going to be a part of the Xbox showcase. So like, it's still an Xbox thing. It's not going to be here. I think everybody basically knows that at this point. There's no way it's going to be here, but of course it's still the name on everyone's lips. Beyond that, most people are just saying like Hades 2 release date. You know, that's basically it. I don't even know what. I mean, I'm sure there are other like high profile games. Blueprints, I guess there's one. That's one of the most recent indie darlings. I have not had a chance to play it, but I have heard very, very good things about it. And apparently it's on all. Wow, yeah, it's all of the. I wondered if it was just a PC game, but no, it's on Microsoft Windows, PS5, Xbox, GeForce Now. I keep forgetting that GeForce has its own thing now. Cool. I don't know. Can't say guarantee, but like, would make perfect sense. I don't know if that would just come to Switch 2, because it does seem to be a game on more, PS5 and Series X and S, but not necessarily PS4 and Xbox One. So that doesn't mean it's going to be a more current generation thing, need to run on Switch 2. I do not know. But yeah, that's another thing right there. Absolutely could. But yeah, beyond that, I haven't really had my finger on the pulse of all of the more recent indie games that people are super into. But at the same time, I'm good with just cool new games that we haven't heard of before. Just kind of whatever. As I said, I really like the art of video games. I love that people are making games. It is art, and it is very cool. And whatever they show, I will enjoy watching it. So yes, I do hope that you guys can join me. Again, I will stream. Hopefully, assuming I don't have like a really rough night or accidentally sleep in or something, I will be streaming, and I hope that you can join me. I love you. Goodbye.